guys? Welcome back to We Watch the Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And this is a Patreon request review for our buddy Billy Joyner on Patreon.
Billy Joyner. How you doing, Billy? You come on down and join us.
Come on down to South Park. We're gonna have ourselves time. Bing, bing, ding, bing, bing, ding.
South Park. Watch it. Let your kids watch it too. Holy fuck.
I have begun to initiate.
That scared the fuck out of me. I was like, what the hell?
Shaka Khan! Shaka Khan! We got a smoke machine, bitches!
Yes, it is.
This, if you guys want to check out our Patreon down below, there's a tier on there where you can request a movie for us to review, and this is a perfect one for Halloween Horror Month 2020. Classic movie, RE-ANIMATOR. Jeffrey Combs, you are the king.
I love Jeffrey Combs. I love Jeffrey. By the way, Dr. Vatican from House on the Haunted Hill.
Yeah,
it took me a second to realize that he was the one that goes with the blade, and he was also in the Frighteners, which a lot of the crazy FBI guy in the Frighteners. The thing about RE-ANIMATOR, though, they should use that in the next Viagra commercial. RE-ANIMATOR.
Put this green glowy shit in your wiener and let him
get that RE-ANIMATOR going. You know what? Honestly, I've watched this. I'd never seen it, and it was actually goddamn glorious. It was really good to look at. It was really good to watch, and I had a great time. I had a great, wonderful time.
Yeah, man. When you told me that you hadn't seen it, I couldn't believe it. I've probably seen it maybe just 3 times, but even watching it again, man, this is one of my favorite horror movies ever, man.
It was really good.
Fucking amazing. So, if you don't know, which that's not enough. Run, Dexter! Oh God. Dexter was right in this place.
Come on, dude, let's bail.
Give me some more smoke, goddammit.
Oh, dude, we rocked hard.
Someone said, they're like, that's not a fog machine, that's a bong, and you know it.
It's a combination.
You should just drop some, droplets in there.
It's a combination.
Anyway, so RE-ANIMATOR, if you don't know, trust, there's going to be spoilers in this. We're going to tear up through the whole movie, but most of you guys, if you're watching this, have probably definitely seen RE-ANIMATOR before. What the movie's about, it's this doctor. It's a guy, he's in school to be a doctor. He's an up-and-coming student. He's dating his dean's daughter, Barbara Crampton of Horror Extraordinaires. And this weird-ass doctor dude, Herbert, who's played by Jeffrey Combs, shows up to learn at the school. He moves into his apartment, and he is weird as fuck, dude.
Well, yeah, because Herbert got basically kicked out of the school that he was studying in Munich, Switzerland, and because it was like, you killed him. He's like, I did not. I gave him life. Herbert. By the way, the professor that he supposedly killed in Munich, Switzerland. Do you know what his fucking name was?
Munich's in Germany. Is there a Munich in Switzerland?
I thought it was Munich.
I don't know.
Maybe I was wrong. I don't know.
Someplace, somewhere.
It was Switzerland. Maybe not Munich, Switzerland. Switzerland, whatever the city was. But I don't speak Swiss cheese. But he said he was like, dude, the guy's name was the professor that died was Hans Gruber.
Yeah, I saw that. He's like, Hans Gruber. He's like, oh.
I reminded me right away that Bruce Willis. He's like, his brother's name was Hans Gruber, and then Bruce Willis was like, oh shit. That's what I said. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, Herbert West, the guy, Jeffrey Combs plays that part perfectly because he's not really a bad guy, but he's super fucking weird. It's like the kid in high school that wears all black fingernails and eye makeup and shit, but when you get to his house, he's a normal kid that likes to play Nintendo 64. But nobody understands him. And Herbert West is kind of like that. I didn't mind the kid. I thought he was awesome. I liked him better than the main guy, which, by the way, the main guy in this, Dan, looks like a cross between Bill Pullman and Luke Wilson.
I could see that, man. I
thought, well, dude, if you look on Google on images, there's a part where he's like in an image, he's wearing glasses. I thought it was fucking Bill Pullman and Casper.
I could totally see that. I could see that 100%. Handsome guys all the way around. A lot of handsome dudes in this, man. I'll tell you what, I had a boner the entire filming.
Can't help it.
But no, so that's what happens. He shows up, he moves in with him, and he starts doing some freaky deaky shit in his basement. But I like when he moves in. He shows up at the house because he's, like you said, he's technically a bad guy. Like, he's a dickhead, but it's just the way he is. Like, he's hell bent. All he cares about is science.
You know what he was?
All he cares about is his weird doctor shit.
He was a slightly weirder Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
that's what he was. He just walks around with like jeans and no shoes on. Like, totally, you guys get down with like not only art but computer technology.
I'm not gonna do it, Dan.
I love it.
Or what was Seth Rogen's character's name in that movie? The other dude.
What? What movie?
The guy that he worked with in Jobs.
Fucking. Oh my God, we're so stupid.
Yeah, whatever that guy's name was. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at all. But no, he's
the one that basically made Apple.
Yeah. When he shows, I just want you to recognize the Apple II team, Steve. But no, he shows up at their house and he's just weird as fuck. He just walks in and he's like, I heard there was an apartment for rent. And he's like, does it have a basement? And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll show it. He's like, I'll take it. Here's the first and last month's rent. You won't even know I'm here. And she's like, well, maybe you guys should talk about this a little bit. He's like, I've already decided.
Yeah, dude, he's such a good actor. Jeffrey Combs is actually honestly a good actor, but it was so hard to separate him from the weird FBI guy in the Frighteners.
Yeah.
Because every time he talked, I thought he was interviewing Michael J. Fox. He's like, yeah, and then you went to the store at 3 o'clock. And then they didn't know that you were driving down the street with your wife, and she had a fight
If you've seen The Frighteners and haven't seen Re-Animator, he's kind of the same type of dude.
Yeah, he's just an obsessed guy with his work, and he just wants a private space to do it, but he's very pushy about what he wants, when he wants it, and how he wants it. Pretty much like, again, Steve Jobs. Like, it doesn't matter. If you don't see the art, get out of my face.
Yeah.
Go get a job at fucking Microsoft.
I like it when he shows up, because there's this asshole doctor, and I can't remember I can't remember the guy's name.
Oh, yeah, that dude.
Great actor. The guy was awesome in the movie. But when he shows up, this guy's supposed to be his teacher, and he's sitting there, and the guy's talking to him, and Jeffrey Combs' character's sitting there holding a pencil, and he knows that the guy's a hack and a fraud or whatever, and he tells him that to his face pretty much. He was like, yeah, your work, as soon as he meets the guy, the dean introduces him, and he's like, yeah, I know you. Your work copied the doctor from Switzerland a little too close, honestly, and all the work that you came out with yourself sucks butt cheeks. He basically said that to his face.
And there's also that scene where he's having that the dickhead doctor is having a bunch of students, and he's talking. That's a fucking gnarly scene. When he cuts I was like, I hate fucking scalping, dude. And he pulls the guy's scalp over his face, like flappy flap,
yes.
And then you take a cranium saw, and I was like, it's enough. I don't want to see too much of it. But then he basically tells him, the Herbert guy gets mad, and he was like, these students come here to learn. It's bullshit, basically what he's saying. He's like, he goes, brain death does not occur between 6 and 12 minutes. He goes, maybe you should copy his work more so you can learn something. And I was like, ooh.
When he was sitting there listening to him, and the teacher's talking, he's just sitting there dead ass staring at him, just dead ass in the face, and he snaps the pencil, and the teacher's like, whoop.
Maybe you should invest in a pen.
He snaps it a second time. He's like, Mr. Herbert,
do you know who
maybe you should invest in a pen.
That guy could have been the guy that was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 that was like pepperoni and cheese, the one that like helps him make the Secret of the Ooze or whatever. But yeah, anyway, overall, man, I gotta say, it's considered a black comedy. It's considered a comedy that has dark elements in it. The comedy was there. I just felt like, suck that dick. But no, I just felt like it was one of those movies that had a lot more. It was just weird. Like, I didn't see it. Some of the comedy came and it was funny, but it wasn't like when I hear black comedy, I'm thinking more like, because it's supposed to be gore mixed with comedy. I was thinking more like Evil Dead 2.
Yeah,
it kind of goes that route, but it doesn't go as like, I don't know. It just didn't go all the way there.
I get that. The comedy's black comedy. Like the comedy is in the fact that there's so much batshit stuff that happens in this movie that you just can't imagine it happening. Like, shit goes so fucking foobar so many times that you're sitting there and you start laughing your ass off. You're just like, God, you all are so fucked. Because what happens, I promise we'll get to it. What happens is, the whole thing with Herbert, Dr. West, is that he's obsessed with bringing people from the dead back to life. So what he does is he creates that green glowy shit that you see in the posters, which I love. I love that green glowy effect. That's by the way, what they used in Halloween 6 to kill Michael Myers finally. But the dude's cat goes missing, and Barbara Crampton, his girlfriend Megan, is all uncomfortable with the dude anyway, because he's weird as shit. And she's like, "Where's your cat? I haven't seen him in days, huh?" They find the cat in his refrigerator dead, and he's like, "I found him that way. I found him. That's fine." He's like, "I found him. It's cool."
He explained it very rationally too. He was like, "The cat got in the garbage can, got a plastic bag wrapped around its head, and it suffocated. I just didn't think you wanted to find it that way, so I put it in my refrigerator. Now, can you please give me my monster drink and get out of my room?"
I didn't want it stinking up the place. And he was like, "Did I not rent a private room?"
Well,
like, my dead cat's in your fridge.
I didn't like Dan going. I mean, look, Dan had a right to be mad that his cat was in your fucking refrigerator, but don't go in and get my Gatorade, because he got his little glow. He's like, "What's this, huh? What's this?" I was like, "That's private. Don't go in my fridge and get my green goo out."
And he's such an open dick. Like, he's just open with his dickhead personality. And he's like, "I don't think the dean would like to know that you're boinking his daughter, huh? Can he do it like this?"
Well, Megan always kept bothering, because every time Herbert was trying to get Dan convinced, she would always show up and ruin it for him. I like that part when they're downstairs in the autopsy room, and she's like, Dan! He's like, "Damn this bitch."
And he even caught later on when she's like going through like the horrors of his life. He's like, "I caught you slumming with the young co-ed bimbo." Huh? Yeah. But no, so basically what happens is he goes downstairs, he finds Dr. West working in the basement, because he hears this cat screeching after this happened.
This cat scratch fever. Ted Nugent was down there.
And smoking in the boys room. And the cat's attached to Herbert West, and that was a great scene, because like, even though he was freaked out, he's like, "What the fuck is that on the back of your back?" They both team up, and they're both chasing this psycho cat around, trying to beat it with a baseball bat. And then he explains to him what he's done. He's like, "No, I've done it." He shows him that the cat's dead. He brings the cat back to life again, and he's like, "I found the cure to bring the dead back to life. You can be famous." He's like, "You're my perfect guy to be my assistant, because everybody likes you, and you're boinking the dean's daughter."
That green shit is what Keith Richards uses to keep himself up.
I believe
it really is. It's Rolling Stone's secrets revealed in a movie. But yeah, well,
apple cider vinegar.
I like when they were bringing the cat back, and it was was all squished up in the gooey's. He was like, why is it making that sound? It's like, birth is usually painful. I was like, woo!
There's so many good lines.
Do you write for Marilyn Manson?
There's so many good lines in this movie, and it's gory as shit, by the way. Like, it's so gory, and the gore is good. It's not like, obviously there's no CGI in it for the year that this movie came out. There's no CGI, but the practical effects on the gore, we'll get into what happens later, but starting with the dead cat and the scene that you were talking about where he's peeling the thing back, it's all done so well, man. It is fucking on point. It all looks, it looks fucking 100% real.
It's phenomenon.
It's gory as fuck, and it's glorious at the same time. I love it.
I also like that, well, you know, and I looked this up because I was watching and I was like, well, that sounds really familiar. The composer of the score said he purposefully based it on the Psycho music, because it was like, oh, this is kind of like Psycho, and he's like, it is on purpose supposed to be kind of like a Psycho, because if you listen to the opening titles, it sounds like fucking Psycho.
Yeah.
But I was like, are you vanilla icing this? He's like, it goes ding 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 ding. But no, he said it was on purpose, so I guess they got away with it. They treated it just enough to get away from being copyright slapped.
Yeah.
But it sounds exactly like fucking Psycho.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I thought it fit the movie. It fit the movie really well.
It does. They go after that whole scene happens. He goes to the dean. And he's like, "Look, yeah, he can really do it. He can bring the dead back from life." The dean's like, "Fuck you. You're not seeing my daughter anymore. I'm kicking you out of school. I'm kicking him out of school." So they devise a plan to go into the morgue where the security guard's like, "I'm gonna go get me a sandwich." He leaves. They go into the morgue and they try to bring an actual dead body back to life. But the problem is they picked fucking Lou Ferrigno's corpse.
That guy was big as shit.
This is when it gets to Evil Dead 2 funny shit. Like, it's just so out there fucking against the grain. It's wild as fuck, wild and crazy kids. But they put the green juice in this dude. He gets up, he starts hulking out, he starts beating the shit out of him. This scene's so crazy. It reminds me of the scene in Return of the Living Dead where Thom Matthews and the dude from Frasier bring the zombie back to life, and they're trying to kill it and they don't know what to do and everybody's freaking out. It's that level of just pandemonium and fun. But her dad comes downstairs. Next thing you know, he has to take the bone saw. Bone saw
is ready
to kill the guy. And then her dad comes downstairs. He starts freaking out. He gets killed by the thing. Then Barbara Crampton's character comes in, and it's just this fucking Royal Rumble of batshit crazy stuff. And they're basically like, "Yeah, we killed your dad, but we can bring him back."
Yeah, it was like basically being in a mosh pit with the Grateful Dead fans.
Yeah.
It's just everybody that's fucking dead on the inside and dead on the outside, running around trying to act like psychopaths like they were when they were 18. You're like, it's just not working anymore.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of high schoolers on vodka.
Yeah, that dude that was fucking running around that was all bruised up, that looked like Lou Ferrigno or like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was like, this is what steroids does to you kids, and serotonin. A lot of serotonin and fucking like all that shit. You shouldn't take that stuff.
That's why they banned Four Loko.
You can't
Kids
do
get
it.
Fucking crazy.
And he was all bruised up too. That's what needles will do to you, okay? You could tell that guy had roided the fuck out.
Basically,
anybody, don't take creatine too much, okay? Because you're gonna get roided out, okay?
It was basically a fucking political rally in the year of our Lord 2020.
You know what's crazy is like, for a second you saw his dong. Mm-hmm. You saw his dong. I'm like,
multiple dongs.
Yeah, I was like, why didn't this motherfucker rated X? Because like they always said that if you show full frontal male nudity, they'll give you an NC-17.
Oh.
But I saw a dong flopping around like it was like hanging in the wind like a wind chime. It was like, yeah. I was like watching it with my girlfriend. And I was like, holy shit, that's a dong.
That's a dick.
I mean, you gotta, you have one so you can spot it right away. Like that's a penis.
Is it bigger than mine? Is it?
Absolutely. But no, this thing, I was like, that's a thick dick. When I saw it, I was like, that's a thick old dick.
That boy thick.
Because, Eddie, if you're going to, look, I know it's off subject, but if you're going to be in a moment where you have to show your dick, the first thing you're going to do is stretch it and make sure it's a little bit wide.
Especially if you're an extra, and like you're just an extra, you're just going to play a dead body in the movie, and they're like, we got to show your dick. Yeah. You're not going to accept that role unless you got a big dick.
Yeah, and not to mention, or you can just stretch it a little bit, make sure it's all thick and kind of like got the blood pumping down to it, because, look, if it doesn't work out in the movies, Pornhub might be calling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was doing good. But yeah, I was shocked that they showed that, because I mean there is one scene, specifically one scene that they show full on, well not full on the chick in it, but you see her titties and stuff, which is fucking a gross ass scene. But you didn't see her bush.
Oh man,
well, no, you saw a little bit of bush.
Maybe I can't remember. It's all just a hectic.
We have bush.
Shroud of nudity.
We got bush.
There's a lot of nudity in the movie, by the way. It opens up on a shot of this really fat chick that they're dissecting, and her titties are just flopping down.
You know, I thought that was a dude.
You thought it was a dude?
I thought it was a dude with big tits.
That's huge tits.
I was like, no, I just was like, hey man,
huge tits.
It could be fucking like a big fat overweight dude, and I was like, that's a dude. I don't know, just the body type. I don't know. I just thought it was a dude.
That was Big Dave. But that's what they call him. They call him Big Dave with
Dave
the tits
Thomas
showing up.
Got them Dave Thomas titties.
But no, it all goes crazy after that. This doctor, who's creepy as shit, by the way, who clearly wants to fuck the college
Nasty
kid,
too.
the daughter of his friend. Even when he toasts, like that dad, like honestly, like I know he went through a bad road because he ends up obviously dying and being reanimated and his whole story. But when he's alive, he's sitting right at that table, and his doctor friend's like, I can't believe you're letting her date him. And then he shows up and he's like, you should stay here and drink with us. And then he toasts and he's like, to Megan, for your beauty holds us all in domicile, or whatever the fuck he said.
Yeah.
It was creepy as shit. The guy had creepy school teacher trying to bang young chicks all over him.
He reminded me of Frank from Hellraiser. Like, call me daddy.
Absolutely.
Daddy.
Dead on.
He's like, I want to be your sugar daddy.
Yeah.
And that was, he was creepy.
Basically,
he was weird.
Jeffrey Epstein.
He was really like a fucking obviously bad, nasty dude that you were like, I hope you die really badly in some awful way. And he does.
Good actor, though.
He was a great actor. Again, the movie, it's such a strange movie, but it was like one of those movies that it didn't go so fucking weird like Eraserhead, where you're like, this is too much.
Oh, it's
this
so
is like,
easy to follow.
This is like LSD on fucking acid, Eraserhead. Like, I'm not going to get out of this, but it towed the line. It was weird, but it didn't go too far weird, but it maintained that line. And I had a great fucking time watching it. Overall, like, everybody did a really good job with the movie. It actually convinced, like, when I was watching, I was like, man, I want to... They make a sequel to this? They did. They called Beyond Reanimator. I was like, I'm gonna watch that shit.
I think there's a brighter Reanimator too. I gotta check them out. This is the only one I've seen.
But it looked good. I was like, man, I want to watch more of this. What else happens in your crazy world and castle that you built? Eureka's Castle.
Wow, the crazy kids.
It was fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, man. It's a fun ass movie, and that's the number one thing about it. It's a pure-hearted horror movie, man. Like, it's got tons of gore. As we mentioned, it's got nudity in it. It's got black comedy in it, and it's fucking entertaining as shit. Like, you think all this shit about medical doctors and all this shit, they could have easily made this movie boring as shit, but it's so just fucking wily that it's entertaining from start to finish. It's like an hour and a half, and it goes by like nothing, man. It's such an easy movie.
That was another thing. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the runtime on this is like an hour and 26 minutes. Like, it makes it's so fast because it's so interesting and you're so involved in the movie. Like, they do a really good job of making you like involved, and because the pacing is done so well. Like, you understand that it's weird and it's crazy and everything's going off the rails, but you're so invested in the characters, and again, I didn't think Herbert was a bad guy.
Not either.
Like, he was like, look, bitch, I got something to bring you back to life. You might come back fucking weird. It's like, sometimes dead is better, but like, not in this instance. Maybe you want to come back to life. I don't know, but he had something that was cool, and it was like, he wasn't... I don't think he killed their fucking cat. Maybe the cat did get suffocated by that goddamn bag.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Cats are stupid.
I'd like to ask him.
No, they're not stupid.
Did you kill that fucking cat, man?
I don't think he did. I think the cat might have got its head caught in a bag.
You really kill all them worthless animals, boy?
Take that damn thing off.
Probably queer. But that's from Halloween, by the way. Don't judge me. But no, okay, so
that's
one more
not
scene.
what you said to goddamn basement.
one more scene I gotta talk about before we wrap this up, man. When shit gets fucking wily as hell and it hits the fan, and they go for one fell swoop at the end of it, and that doctor tries to steal Jeffrey Combs' character's stuff, and he fucking shovels him to death. He kills him with that shovel. He's like, you fucking hack, or whatever it was he said.
Yeah.
He kills him. The doctor... He pumps him full of that green shit, and then he's beheaded, and he starts to carry around his own head because he puts it in blood, and his head's like, where? That shit was creepy.
That was the only part I was like, I was kind of getting annoyed. I was like, takes the fucking banaka, and first off, I was like getting real technical. It was like, how the fuck are you breathing or talking? You're not attached to your lungs, bitch. You're not attached to anything.
It's like chicken that sucks by itself, but then you dip it in sauce, and it's good.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
He dipped it in blood.
Yeah, but he couldn't talk. He had no lungs to bring in air, and he couldn't talk. He had no vocal cords. I was like, if you had shoved that shit on you... See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I got technical about it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? He can't talk.
By God, I'm a doctor, not a pool man.
But I would say, that's... Again, the one thing about it is very bloody, and it's very gory, but it's done really, really well. I mean, there is no special effects as far as, like, CG shit. It's practical effects, and it's done really, really well. And again, it really makes you sad, because back in the mid-'80s when this came out, it's like, oh, that was when they were doing that stuff. That looks better today than a lot of the other bullshit Ninja Turtle shit Michael Bay is producing out of his buttholes.
They would never take the time today to do that, and it's
if they ever remade this movie, it would all be CG. Like, the whole motherfucking thing would be CG.
It'd be fucking. They did, and if they couldn't use Jeffrey Combs for it, they would never fucking nail. Like, Jeffrey Combs made this fucking.
You know, I would use Edward Norton for that part. I think he could,
is as close as you can get.
I think he would be weird, and as weird as you can get with that part.
Maybe Crispin Glover.
Crispin Glover actually fits that part really well.
Or the guy from Leslie Vernon Beyond the Mask could probably be a pretty good one too. But anyway, no one's like Jeffrey Combs, man. He's just a weird dude.
I don't understand Jeffrey Combs though, man, because he has a good look about him. I never understood why he didn't get bigger than he did. I mean, he did Dr. Vatican House on a Hill. He did the weird FBI guy in The Frighteners, and he did this movie, and he did Beyond Reanimator. But he's always been like labeled as a B-lister actor or something for no reason. He's a good actor. Like I don't understand. I don't understand you.
He should have at least gotten really cool small roles in gigantic blockbuster movies. You know what I mean? But
he would have actually. I would have fucking gone with him as being the next Dr. Loomis.
I could see that, dude.
Yeah,
really
like if they had done him in Halloween 2018 instead of Sartain, and they would just recast Loomis,
that would have been great.
I think so. I think amazing.
So. But no, the pure horror, like there's one scene in this that has actually like had me being like, oh god, fuck, this is. I don't like this at all. It's really, really scary, really fucked up. Is when this headless doctor, because he's obsessed with Megan, he kidnaps her. He ties her to the table because he puts his fucking his fake doctor head on his head. So he has this plastic fucking head that he's walking around holding his own head, and he's walking around and he sneaks into the morgue or whatever because the security guard.
He's like, "Is that you, doctor?" He's like, "Of course it is." You can hear it's coming from a duffel bag.
He gets her strapped to this table and she's butt naked or just their tits just flopping around everywhere. It's really uncomfortable just from the beginning. And then he has his body pick up his own head. He's like, I've loved you, Megan, you love me. And he starts like licking her nipples and shit.
And he's
like,
gonna go down on her.
He's holding his own severed head and forcing it to like lick her nipples, and he's bleeding all over.
It was going down to her vagina.
Yeah, dude.
Like, he was holding it right there before the guy burst. He's like, "What are you doing to my girlfriend?" By the way, I was just gonna say that's what happens when you're on a porn site or something, and then there's an ad that pops up and you don't mean to click it, but you do it. It's something fucking weird. You're like, "What?" And then you try to click out of it, and it's stuck on your computer.
But it's pure horror, man. If you put yourself in her shoes at that moment, where she wasn't wearing any shoes, she wasn't wearing anything. But if you put herself in her mindset while she's standing there, and she literally wakes up to the scary old guy's severed head licking her boobs, and she's screaming, and they do it slow, like they take their time with it, and it's just so uncomfortable. And then she hits him in the head, and his head flies off, and it's just this empty head, and she just starts screaming anymore. And then later in the scene, all those fucking corpses come to life, and you've got a Royal Rumble basically.
Yeah, and by the way, these corpses aren't zombies. They don't eat anybody. They're just fucking insane, crazy, like steroid infused people.
He uses the power of the will and the brain. He finds a way to harness that and make all these corpses.
Yeah, he lobotomized them all.
And they're supercharged too, so they all got like super energy.
How do you get the fucking Bebop and Rocksteady strength? I don't understand. But by the way, when she was being licked and shit by this old man head and stuff like that, I felt like that'd be the same thing for any young girl going to the Playboy Mansion with Hugh Hefner.
That's probably what it's like for Melania.
I would say it was right for any three fucking people that worked at the Hugh Hefner. I mean, Trump's not as old as Hugh. Hugh Hefner was an old bastard with 3 hot ass wives. Can you imagine like looking down and seeing this old fucking codger licking up through your fucking belly button to your nipples?
At least he was giving them money. All he was going to do was kill her and bring her back to life as a sex slave.
Melania fucking gets money. She probably gets money.
No, I'm talking about Hugh Hefner.
Well, oh yeah, well that's true.
Yeah. No, I mean Hugh Hefner compared to. Anyway, yeah. It's a fantastic movie with an amazing ending. I cannot wait. I need to watch the sequel because.
By the way, that's allegedly. I don't know if Melania. I don't want to get sued. I don't know if she probably doesn't get money. I mean, she probably loves him deeply.
Yeah.
Go watch RE-ANIMATOR. It's a great show.
Dude, it's a 10 for me. It's gold legal.
It's a 9. I liked it a lot, except that there were certain things that bothered me, but otherwise it was still a great fucking solid movie. And again, it's rare when I've never seen a movie like that before that I want to immediately watch a sequel to it. And I was like, I hope they made a sequel. And then I was like, oh my god, they did. It got suggested in my Amazon box. But it was like that. And I'm like, man, they did such a great job with it.
Yeah.
And I really hope that Hollywood leaves it the fuck alone. Because I don't want them touching it.
There's no reason to ever.
Well, they would, because they're running out of fucking ideas left and right. They might as well. They'd be like, oh, let's throw RE-ANIMATOR in there.
I could not see that ever fucking working, man. Every bit of this movie is something that Hollywood just could not recreate in 2020. But anyways,
you get Robert Pattinson as Herbert West. You get Robert Pattinson as Herbert West.
It's a dark, gritty take.
And you get Robert Englund as the crazy scientist that wants to sleep with his girlfriend.
Absolutely. But no, it's a 10 out of 10 for me, 9 out of 10 for Jay. Billy Joyner, you rock the shit, man. You're an awesome dude. We really appreciate your patronage and your friendship, man. You're a cool ass fucking dude. What an amazing pick for Halloween Horror Month. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We do have a couple of old school horror movie reviews to do for Halloween Horror Month that are coming up as well. No,
I'm sorry, we only do new stuff. Yeah. Take that old school shit and lay it by your TV. We don't do that shit no more.
Lay it by your TV.
Lay it by. No more fucking rock and roll. It's all about this hip hop. Fuck you.
That's a rock.
No more of this. It's all about this.
We love your fucking faces. Don't forget to click that subscribe button because we're doing shit all month long. Love your fucking face. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. I just fucking said that, Jim. I'm Mr. Peter. I'm gonna go get the paper. Get the paper. God damn.
Gotta reanimate it.
Man, you know what I was thinking the other day? I went to fucking Target and then I went to check out, right?
Yeah.
And the clerk looked at me in the face, dead in the face, and they were like,
no, he didn't. I knew that. I knew that was coming.
I thought if I went deep enough into the story,
because I saw your stupid eye twitch.
Yeah, I fucked up. My bad.
Fucking bitch, that didn't.